Hello, everyone. Hello, Facebook family. Hello, Instagram. Hello. Welcome to Life's Journey with Benedicta. Happy weekend, everyone. I hope we're all having a restful Saturday night or Sunday morning. Hello, Facebook. Hello, Element underscore Ifa. If you're joining us today for the very first time, Kemazo Official, I greet you too. Thank you for joining in. Tomisin, thank you for joining in. Thank you for turning off the air conditioning here. I have to always turn off the air conditioning before I start the show because of the sound. The noise has a way of interfering with the voice quality. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Life's Journey. This is Life's Journey. And if you are joining us for the very first time, I am here late nights every Saturday to talk about topical issues, especially issues concerning women-related problems. We come here to talk about life's challenges. We come here to talk about our journey so far in life with the view to learning about life issues, learning about solutions, finding solutions to old age problems like relationship, divorce, separation, children custody issues, societal expectations that affect our lives. Yes, societal norms that affect our lives adversely. On today's topic, we are going to be discussing about motherhood and divorce, life after motherhood and divorce as a woman, not as a man. Of course, men are going to have their own perspective of life after fatherhood and divorce. But on today's topic, I want us to talk about life after motherhood and divorce. It's not, the two doesn't always have to come together, and they don't always have to come concurrently. Some people become mothers and never get to experience marriage. Some people become mothers, experience marriage, and never get to experience divorce. So it's not always the case. But today we are discussing particularly about cases where you, as a woman, as an individual, you move from being a singular person to becoming a married person, and peradventure, you get divorced. What does your life look like afterwards? What are the societal expectations you have or you have to live with? I'm going to be speaking from my own personal experience, and I'm going to be speaking from a few friends that I know have been on this path, and from my observation in general, especially here in our African society, in our Nigerian society. Women are expected, in most cases, if they are married and they are mothers, they are expected never to go ahead and get a divorce should they find themselves in a toxic marriage. When I mean toxic marriage, I'm talking about abusive marriage, a marriage where you know your life is being threatened, a marriage where you know that you have no business continuing in. For the mere fact that you are now a mother, people tell you divorce is no longer an option. If you were a single person, they will tell you, well, you're lucky you don't have children yet. You can go ahead and file for a divorce. But once you become a mother in an African marriage institution, people look at you and tell you, in most cases, 90% or even 95% of the time, They tell you divorce is no longer an option because you are now a mother. Come on. I want you today to know that this is a lie. This is a lie that has been woven deep into our subconscious. And we have to start shaking it off, because this lie is what is holding a lot of women captive in toxic marriages, in toxic unions. They know they have no business being there. Their life is being threatened. But because they are now mothers, because they have birthed children, people expect you to remain in that marriage until you even give up the ghost. If push comes to shove and the marriage is so toxic that you get abused to the point of death, people are going to tell your family members, oh, she did it for God. She's going to heaven. She was a virtuous woman. She was a good woman. Now listen to me. I don't know who it is I'm speaking to. That title does nothing for you. For you to live an unfulfilled life and pass on. For people to talk about you in the past tense as a good woman. What are you good for? You were good for enduring toxicity. You were good for enduring battery. You were good for tolerating all the hate and the inhumane treatment that was meted out to you by your husband. Is that what you want to be remembered for? For being good in their own context is good. I call it foolishness. I call it stupidity. When you sell yourself short, when you deprive yourself of everything that you've ever dreamt of becoming, because you want the society to call you good. We have to change. We have to stop calling it, giving it a wrong definition. Being stupid, being a slave in a toxic relationship, enduring battery from a man doesn't make you a good woman. I want you to know that today. It does not make you a good woman. Selling yourself short, depriving yourself of achieving all that you have set out for, doesn't make you a good person. If you are in a bad place and you're being maltreated, if you're in a bad union, you have been lied to, you have been tricked or deceived into that marriage is null and void. It was never supposed to have taken place in the first place. You should leave. You should walk out of it. Nobody should tell you that because you are a mother, because you have children, you do not have the right to live a fulfilled life. You do not have a right to pursue your dreams. You do not have a right to pursue your career. No, nobody should tell you that. It is high time we started telling ourselves the truth. It is high time we raised our daughters to know that enduring a toxic union with a man doesn't make them good people. That is not the definition of a good wife. That is not the definition of a good woman. We have to say it the way it is. Let us stop enduring, tolerating mediocrity in the name of I am a good wife. There is no such thing. You are only shortchanging yourself. You're destroying your own destiny. You see, when I talked about mindset reorientation last week, we really have to start thinking different if we want something different to begin to happen in our African society. We have to stop thinking in the same way that our grandparents taught. Our great-grandmothers and our grandmothers in Africa believed that a good wife is a woman that endures infidelity from her husband. A good wife is a woman that endures battery from her husband. A good wife is a wife that hides the fact that the husband has a different sexual orientation than they have. A good wife is a wife that hides the fact that the husband is gay. That's what makes you a good wife. No, that is not the definition of a good wife. That should not be the definition of a good wife for us in 2022. And we have to teach it to our daughters. If not, they're going to grow up with the same mindset, and they're going to go into marriages with the same mindset that a cheating husband is meant to be endured and put up with. A husband that batters them, demonizes them, is meant to be put up with. What kind of generation are we raising? What kind of daughters, what kind of sons are we raising? It is not just enough for us to say, oh, I did it for myself. No, we need to leave a better society behind. A society where our daughters and our sons that have equal opportunities to thrive in life. A society where the male child sees the female child as his or her equal. A society where a male child doesn't see the female child or the female gender as a being that should slave for them. That is the society, that is the generation we should be raising. So I walked out of a terrible, terrible toxic union. I walked out on it. And what was I called? I was called a prostitute. I was called an unfit mother. I was given all sort of names. But that didn't stop me, because I knew what I wanted in life. I knew who I was. I have never had a wrong perception of self. I have always known who I am, and I've always known what I wanted in life. So the name calling didn't stop me from doing what I knew I had to do. Because at the end of the day, I am the one that sleeps on my pillow at night crying till daybreak. I am the one in pain. I'm the one going through the turmoil, not you. So your perception of me doesn't define who I am. Your perception of me doesn't make me see myself differently from who I know I am. I am who I am. I know myself. So a lot of us have a false perception of self. So it's easy for us to be swayed. When people call us a certain name, we begin to think and see ourselves as that person, because you have never in your entire life known who you really are. You have a false perception of yourself. So it is so easy for you to get lost in the crowd. It's so easy for you to get swayed by name callings. I am here to tell you, you don't have to remain in a toxic relationship because you are a mother, because you have children, and so you'll continue to endure battery. If a man is battering you, leave that union. If a man is abusing you physically, mentally, emotionally in a marriage, leave. File for a divorce. Get help somehow. Even if you have children, it shouldn't stop you from starting a new life. I was called secondhand, secondhand material. I was told I had children. You have children. Respect yourself. What man do you think in his right senses would want to marry a woman with children? Why are you not thinking? You're being stupid. Even if your husband is maltreating you, for the mere fact you have children, ignore the man. Focus on your children. These children should become your priority. They should be your goal. Just leave the man alone. Let him be doing whatever he's doing. God will preserve your life. He will not kill you. As long as you have a God, continue praying. No matter how hard he tries, he cannot kill you. You will continue to endure. Nothing will happen to you, at least for the sake of the children. Before you know it, these children will be grown. You will even start going to their homes, from one home to the other. You don't even have to stay in your husband's house anymore. And the question is, what if he kills you before those children are grown. Should your children not have the right to live their own lives, you will now be a burden to them in their early days as adults. Your young married daughter of 28 or 29, before she can even have 1 year honeymoon with her husband, you're already knocking on the door. You want to come and live with her because your home has been a hell hole. Your home has been a hellhole that you have been enduring. So you're waiting for the first child that will be financially liberated so you can move in with that child. And you're still going to be answering that title, Mrs. This, Mrs. Peters, Mrs. John. What a hypocritical life that is. Nigerians, we have to wake up. I'm not really, I'm worried about women. I'm concerned about them. I feel for women. But I am more sympathetic towards the younger generation, the children that we are raising. What values are we instilling in them? Are we telling them that a man that batters them, a man that abuses them mentally, emotionally, physically, should be endured because they are married? They are going to say, oh, their mother endured. I watched my mom endure. My father used to bring out a belt. I used to watch my dad bring out a belt and flog my mom, and my mom was enduring it. So therefore, if my husband is abusing me, it is normal. We are normalizing animosity in marriages. And these children are watching us normalizing animosity. Is that the generation we want to raise? You begin to wonder why women are in toxic marriages and they don't want to leave. It is because they watch their parents in toxic marriages. They watch their mom their entire life being beaten, physically beaten with belts by their father. And she remained there. She wouldn't go. So to them, their mother is a good wife. Their mother is a good wife. So their mother has passed on the baton to make that, wow, if my mother, I should also do what my mother did. So here they are in another toxic relationship, they're in a marriage. Their husband is a serial cheat. He batters them. And they say to themselves, if my mother could endure this, I think I can do better. I'm not raising my daughters to endure. If you're coming for any one of my daughters, just know that you're coming to meet a life partner, a helpmate, your equal that will help you build and you will help them build. They're not going to tolerate any BS from any man. Because I didn't tolerate the BS. I did tolerate it for a period in my life when I was unlearning all the nonsense I've learned. And when I knew that I had taken enough, I left. So they watched me leave and they knew why I left. I don't pray for any one of them to end up in a toxic marriage or in a toxic union. But God forbid it happens. They know what to do. And I want you to teach your own children the same thing. Yeah. God forbid they end up in a toxic union. Be it a male child or a female child. Should they end up in a toxic union, they should leave. Those are the values, the right value system we should be instilling in our children. Daddy Freeze, you see, I sympathize for women in this our generation, women that are going through toxic marriage, toxic relationship. They are going through battery, constant infidelity on the part of their spouses. I feel for them. But I feel even more for the children that we are raising, the next generation. What value system are we instilling in them? Are we teaching them that battery, infidelity, emotional and physical abuse is normal in a marriage? It should be endured because they watch their parents endure it? That is not how I am raising my daughters. And when I'm talking about mindset reorientation, these are the things we have to start instilling in our children,
Can I say
both
something?
the male child and the female.
Can I say?
Yeah.
Most of you are raising your children to jackpot. The average Nigerian now wants to jackpot. But you have normalized stupidity. You have normalized wickedness in the lives of your children. You have normalized foolishness in the name of marriage. Oh, you don't get it. Yesterday, I had a guest. Sorry, I want to load this on. 1 second. I had a guest yesterday. I don't know if people watched my live yesterday. It was an amazing expose to what goes on in the US. You see, you are raising your children as export material, preparing them for an out of Nigeria world, but you are instilling Nigerian mentality in their head.
Nigerian mentality in the Nigerian values in them.
Now, let me explain what happened to this guy. He caught his wife cheating. Don Obasi. He was with me 5 minutes ago, literally on my own live before I came here. He caught his wife cheating. He got upset because the person was cheating in his own home. He got upset, and guess what happened? The guy pulled a gun on him. The guy was cheating with his wife in his own bed. And when he confronted the guy pulled a gun on him. He called the police. The police came over and said, sorry, we can't do anything because he's your wife's guest. So the wife brought another man into, this is a true life story. The full video is available on my channel. The police said, no, we can't drive this man out of your house because you and your wife co-own the house and he's your wife's guest. Meanwhile, he paid for the house, but because the wife is living there and the guy is her guest, the police cannot drive the guy. Now, he now calls the guy one-on-one. What are you doing with my wife? You know what the guy said? The guy said, you should be thanking me for sleeping with your wife, since you are not man enough to do the job. Now, they even go for counseling. Wait now. They even go for counseling. The counselor still blamed him. The counselor said because he was too... This is a true life story. It's available on my... The guy said it with his own mouth. Just go to my YouTube or my Facebook. You will see the story. The counselor still blamed the guy for not being there. In Nigeria, your father leaves the house. As long as he's coming back with money for your school fee or rent, you dare not ask him where he's coming from.
Where he's coming from, you dare not.
It's not like that abroad, though. Don't raise your children by normalizing Nigerian foolishness. Abroad, you lay your hands on a woman, you will lose everything you have worked for till that point. If she has a good lawyer, you will work.
Sorry, there's this story, a friend of mine. Okay, the husband infected her, gave her STD. Okay, so she went to the hospital. Okay, it was STD. She told the husband about it, came home, started crying, fought the husband because the husband is a known cheat. I mean, she knows. Everybody knows. The family members, they are tired of his cheating drama. So she dared to confront him out of anger. That, how dare you give me STD? My dear, this man brought out a belt, flogged her for accusing him of giving her STD and reported her to the village elders. She was made to kneel down to apologize to her husband for talking rudely at him. She knelt down and apologized to him. This is a man that gave you STD. So the village council of chiefs or whatever, they were not interested in the details of the STD or whatever. What they were interested is, no matter what happens, this is Africa. Culturally, you have no right to raise your voice at your husband, no matter what he has done. So she had to apologize.
Where you have rights is not working. Oh. My dear brothers and sisters, that Africa where you have rights is not working. Oh. You are on a boat going through Libya to Spain. But when you get to Spain that is working, you want to bring the idea of Africa that is not working. You will spend a lot of time in jail. Am I communicating with someone? You see, the time is now when parents, imagine taste buds went through a divorce for 10 years, 9 years and 1 month.
Yeah, 9 years and 10 months. That's 12. That's
no, 9 years and 1 month.
Yeah, 9 years and 1 month. Yeah, that's nearly
got the divorce,
a decade.
she got it based on adultery because she decided to move on with her life during those 9 years.
Yeah, I was called.
Me, I don't have problem.
I was called a prostitute.
As we have seen
in
that,
the box.
As we have seen, wait, we tell that. As we have seen that this our system, you no one get head, you no one get tail. Me, I want to publicly call Tastebud's ex. We go Ibadan. We go swear for Ayila La. Say for that 9 years, he no touch anybody. If he know, say he get mind, Mo go lick Ayila La for Ibadan. Forget Bible, forget Quran, forget Nigerian justice. Make we go. I go.
Who can stay celibate?
Lick Ayila La
celibate for 9 years. Our justice system or our judicial system is actually to stay celibate for the entire period, the entire duration of the dissolution of marriage. 9 years and 1 month. Who is that man or woman that can stay celibate? The person should come out so we can see.
I cannot stay 9 weeks. Let me tell anybody true. I cannot stay 9 weeks. Why am I fooling myself?
So our society is encouraging us to be hypocritical.
That is it.
To live a hypocritical life. You can have as many sleeping partners as you want, but do not get caught with anyone.
Do not get caught. That is it. Now I want
That's what the judicial system is telling us. Have as many sex partners as you want, but don't get caught. Because if you get caught, then you're an adulterer.
Now, make we judge this matter. Person say no one do marriage again. He say no one do marriage again. But must be forced to endure living halfway in, halfway out for as long as 9 years. Even my own divorce case took about 5 years. 5 years. What are they divorcing people for that is more than a year? That 1 year self is still nonsense. You want to tell me? Someone said 9 weeks. Now say I did nice. So me and you don't leave each other. 1 month later, I don't move on. What are we lying to ourselves and fooling ourselves for? Let's be telling ourselves the truth. The reason why these narratives prevail in Nigeria are because we have normalized stupidity. We have turned stupidity into a form of culture. We have turned ignorance into a way of life. So you now have climbed the pulpit. Me, for Lagos, they ask me, say I get Pikin. I tell them, say I get Pikin. No. I tell the judge, say I get Pikin. Did I move on? I moved on.
Yeah, because I told them the truth that I have a child. That's what makes me a prostitute, and that's what makes me.
No, that judge, babe. Mark my word.
I'm a prostitute.
That's
I'm unfit to raise
Listen
children.
to me. That's sad.
I am an adulterer. For having a child, I'm moving on with my life. In the 9-year period, the divorce was.
That
so what kind of society are we
that
in?
son called you a prostitute when you were in the box.
Right there in the box.
If that guy get a career,
he called me a prostitute, an evil woman.
By the time we are done with the appeal, if that guy has a career left, it will be amazing. Where how dare you
that we're
in 2022, because you are a son, how dare you call a woman a prostitute? Because
right their life in the box.
On after
even when my counsel tried to raise an objection, the judge was like, no, his son is talking, allow him to talk.
No, you see this, we have in this country, we have normalized foolishness and stupidity. We have made it a way of life. A man can call I'm telling you, anywhere in the world, you will never practice law again. It's only in this country, this backwardness. Meanwhile, I pray to God that the way that son talk, may his children talk like that abroad, and may they bear the consequences. How dare you call a woman a prostitute? Because you are you wore wig and gown. Bros, may we win appeal. Just the praise we no go win. Once we win appeal, I go mention your name. I go mention everybody's name. The food we cook, where the house take burn. All of us, just me. We never know anything. Because if there's anything I stand for, I refuse in religion, in the way we think, in every ramification of our way of life, I refuse to normalize stupidity. I refuse. I reject it. As in, a woman, what did she do? They say she moved on with one man. Do you know the meaning of prostitute? So you move on with one man, that's prostitution? How unlettered, how unscholarly, subliterate.
Oh, that is it. A prostitute, the definition of a prostitute in the dictionary, we know what that means.
We know what.
So because he's a son, he can say anything he wants to say.
If you're a lawyer abroad, please answer my question. In any civilized country, forget these nonsense trenches where foolishness of the highest caliber has been normalized as a way of life. Any of you in the trenches, can you dare as a lawyer address a woman as a prostitute? Even if you caught her on the streets curb crawling, can you dare call her a prostitute? Can you dare? And pace, you have no idea. And where this matter will go, now when I just the watch matter, now this matter now go take no say that the free is not well.
It's just
what nonsense.
That is why we all need to change the state. We have to change the system. We make the laws.
Ali, let me log out, because if I'm in this your life, I'll continue getting angry. Let me log out. You understand? Let me log out. And I'm going to say this before I log out. That idea that judges are afraid to divorce couples, you guys go and work on it. It is unfair to keep two people together when they have no business together. And it is wicked to keep them longer than 6 months to a year. Anything more than 1 year, don't turn wickedness. Divorce them. Then be dealing with the child custody, land, reliefs. Divorce them.
Of properties and the rest.
Some Islamic scholars and some Islamic laws, in 6 months, they divorce the man and the wife. It can now take them 5 years to fight over property. Within that 5-year period, while they are fighting over property, the two of them can go and remarry. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. Then, no. You see, listen, our religious system might be bad. Our legal system might be bad. But when you accept it and you normalize it, you are punishing your children. Any man raised with an African mentality, if you marry a woman abroad, you will suffer. Any man that sees his father dominate his mother, please go and live in Alimoso local government and work in Etiosa. Don't go to America. If you saw your father ride your mother like a $2 pony, Don't go to Canada, oh. Don't go to the UK, oh. You will suffer untold hardship, and your father will not be able to bail you out. There's no amount of money that you have. If you are stupid, especially the Nigerian style stupidity, which is the deepest, most pathetic and pathological type of stupidity, the stupidity you inherit from your parents, don't carry it abroad. Though. Jackpot is sweet. Jackpot is sweet. You go abroad and you live your life single. Because that's when you realize that you marry a woman into your home. As she's entering the home, half of it belongs to her. And any day you return fight, they will escort you out. She will be left in that house.
Yeah.
All sorts of false narratives. She got pregnant in her husband's house.
You see, the thing is, the date I filed for the divorce, documents don't lie. January 2012, it's right there. So how do you file for a divorce in 2012 and then you say the child I had how many years after filing, many years after filing for the divorce is the reason why I filed in the first place? So was the child miraculously born before I instituted the divorce? Dates don't lie. But when they want to twist things around to suit their own narrative, they will say whatever.
Don't
but I
worry.
am happy that documents, all
Babe,
documents are dated.
Maybe we go appeal.
All documents are
When
dated.
we finish with the appeal, make them pray say they go win the appeal.
That is why I'm
They win
saying
the
that
appeal to Supreme Court.
women
For
should
me, I don't
not,
tell you, if they
women should not allow the name calling or the public perception
the
of
fact
what people think of them to stop them from living a full life. That was what they wanted to do to me. They wanted to tie down the dissolution suit so that I'm going to be 43 or 42. Now at 42, if I had a 50% chance of remarrying 10 years ago at 35 or 37, am I going to have that same percentage chance of remarrying at 40 something? The answer is no. So they know what they are doing. When you file for this divorce, I'm going to tell you a typical example. Most Nigerian men, when you file for a divorce, they will not show up for the first few years. It happened to me when I filed. The first 2 years plus, my ex refused to show up in court. He felt by the time I kept going to court every month, after the first 1 year, I'm going to give up. I didn't give up. After the second year, he thought I was going to give up. I didn't give up. I continued going to court until he was forced to show up in court 2 years plus later. All these are delay tactic just to frustrate the woman. And the more as you're going to court, it's not free, or you're spending money. You're spending your hard-earned money. So they believe that by the time you're frustrated, after a couple of years of you going to the court alone without your estranged husband or wife showing up, you're going to get tired of spending money. You're going to get tired of spending time, and then you drop out or you let the case slide. All those things was played out on me. It didn't work because I knew what I wanted. I wanted a dissolution. So I kept going to that court, irrespective of the fact that my ex refused to show up the whole first 1 year. The second year, I kept going. So all these are delay tactic. And then at the end of the day, the woman moves on. Or at the end of the day, the man moves on. Hello, she's an adulterer. She's a prostitute. What were you expecting? That she's going to sit down for 9 years and be celibate? Which man or woman will stay for 9 whole years plus and remain celibate?
Does the system not sound like a joke to you? Is it not comedy? You put in human beings. Are you caring about these people's psychological well-being, emotional well-being? Do you know that a woman women start menopause in their 40s.
Yeah.
So
Some women start out in their
a
40s.
normal woman at 32 now waits till she's 42 when she's beginning to have a. Do you know at 42 you can't have children again?
Yes, most
You
children
become
can't. You become high risk. Even from 35, you're high risk
your
already.
high.
You're
So
high risk.
you are living at 35. You want to settle down with another person. You now have to wait till you are 42 because the
until they dissolve
is
your
normalizing
marriage in 40 something.
humanity. Abroad in the UK, they will tell you to your face that the law, that particular law, does not make sense. But in Nigeria, we are as listen, oh, don't raise your children like that. Oh, me, I don't log out.
You have to learn how to beat the system. Until we can change this toxic system that we have, we are the lawmakers. We comprise the citizens. We make the laws. We have to amend the laws that are amendable and do away with the laws that are detrimental to our welfare.
Look
I
at what
was told to my face that I was going to be dragged in court. My ex told me, I'm going to drag you in court until you're gray. And they believed that I was going to sit and wait, actually wait until the dissolution is over. I knew where they were going to. I saw it. I knew the plan, but I beat them to it. So you have to learn to beat a system that is unfair, a system that is hypocritical, a system that is designed to punish women. You have to learn as a woman to beat that system. If you will not be invited to the table, create your own table. If you cannot walk through a door, jump through the window. I'm a survivor. I have fought so many battles in my life. Okay? Fought so many battles. Some I won, some I lost, but I never give up without putting up a fight. So you sit down and you watch a system that is designed to punish women, a system that is designed to enslave women, and you as a woman choose if you want to be enslaved.
I want to say something. One buffoon here, currency 147. Stop saying America. We are in Nigeria. We have culture despite civilization. I put it to you today that your culture has failed. Your beliefs have failed. Your traditions have failed. If your traditions and your cultures are so good, why are you running away? Why are you jackpine? People can't even get visas anymore because everybody's logging out, running away.
Yeah.
And you're talking about cultures? You are running away to America. Please, I beg you in God's name, go practice your culture in America.
Hello.
So because I'm getting to this always annoying.
Yeah. Actually, I don't wanna show my face. Sorry to do that. Actually, it is so disgusting for someone as a lawyer, a son in Nigeria, to call a woman a prostitute.
And
let me tell you,
she said nothing about it.
Let me tell you, I live in the United States. If you try it in the United States, ask anybody, you're gonna pay for it.
As a society,
you're gonna pay for it. In Nigeria, it is so ridiculous. There's something that is not even normal, something that is not even make any reasonable sense, always happen in our country.
We've normalized.
Let me even tell you, even if someone come into your bed, have anything with you, nothing can happen in the United States. Many things happen right here. Many things happen in the United States. So that is so disgusting for a lawyer to call someone a prostitute. The whole senior advocate of Nigeria. I rest my case.
Without any evidence.
Yeah, without any evidence. So you have to prove it. Even in the court of law, you can't even say that. So I rest my taste about that. So nice,
Thank you.
talking to you here then. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for
Thank you so
airing
much.
your view.
Thank you.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Thank you. So the choice is yours. You can choose to become a slave to the system, or you can choose to beat the system. Just know that we have a system that is not favorable to women when it comes to dissolution of marriage, children custody issues, settlement of properties. Now, in a typical divorce situation in any high court, the concerns of the judge or the job of the judge is to dissolve that marriage, settle children custody issues, and settle properties between the couples. So in my own case, properties that I brought forward to the court to be settled, the judge ignored it, which is her sole responsibility. She's supposed to look into the settlement of properties. Whatever belongs to Mr. A should be given to Mr. A. Whatever belongs to Mr. B should be given to Mr. B. She simply overlooked it and just talked about children custody issues. And guess what? Because I admitted that I had a child and I have moved on with my life because I could not wait for 9 years for her to give her judgment. She said I was an unfit mother, I was an adulterer, and I was unfit to raise my children. And so she awarded custody of all the children to my ex. And so I looked at it and said, this judgment, it's not for me. It makes no sense. My grown-up children were not even invited to the court for once to be asked, where do you want to stay? You've been living with your mother for the whole 9 years. Do you want to continue staying with her or not? My children were not invited to the court for one day. So I was like, I'm not satisfied with this judgment. Let's proceed to the Court of Appeal, where I believe the right questions will be asked. My children will be asked certain questions, which they weren't asked. My properties that are mine, and the document shows that they are mine, will be awarded to me. And whatever belongs to my ex will be awarded to my ex. So we're in the Court of Appeal. So as a woman, you should not let a biased system, a society that is biased, to decide your destiny and your future. You have to learn how to fight for the things you believe are right for you. What is right for you might not be right for the next person. But if you know in your heart it is right for you, this is what you want, you have to learn to fight to get it. The men are not going to give it to you easily. The system is not going to give you what you want on a platter of gold. You have to learn to fight to get it. And that is why I keep saying, as a woman in an African society, you have to learn that if you are not invited to the table, if your voice will not be heard, you have to learn to raise your pitch a note higher. If you will not be invited to the table, you have to learn to build your own table. You came to this world as a freeborn. You came to this world to thrive, to grow, to survive, and to go past surviving, to thrive. So if there is any person, any human being, any system designed to prevent you from growing, from striving, from actualizing your dreams, from becoming that person that you envision yourself to be, cut that person out of your picture. You are the artist. You have your canvas. You have your pencil. You have a picture of where you're going to. You are the artist. You design your path. You chart your course. It's not going to come to you on a platter of gold. You have to fight to get it. It's not easy because I believe that what I'm doing today, I'm not just doing it for myself. I'm doing it for my children that are watching. My daughters are watching and they're learning. And a lot of women out there are watching and are learning. I know a lot of women that I have counseled in the past 10 years that have been battling this. A lot of them have come out victorious on their path. A lot of them are still in the struggle. And I tell them one thing, this path you're towing, it's not a bed of roses. It's not going to be easy, but it's a path that will give you the opportunity of living the life that you want to live. Let no person design your future for you. They can choose to assist you on your way to achieving your goals, to your set dreams. But if they will not assist you, they should get out of the way. Man, woman, laws, system put in place, designed to tear you down. Get it out of the way. Remember, you're not just here on earth to survive. You're here to thrive. And you can do better than surviving. The only way you can thrive is you pursuing your set goals for yourself. I'm not here to give you motivational talk. I'm here to tell you the story of my life. I have fought and I have fought until I've gotten to where I am. Nothing was given to me on a bed of roses. I look at my children today, two of them are in the university. The third one is about to get into the university. I struggle to get them to where they are. No financial assistance because our system, as usual, has failed. Who says because you are going through a divorce, the court will allow the father of children to go for 10 years without giving 1 naira in child support? Not a penny. And the judge is aware, the court is aware. My lawyer has raised it repeatedly. Not a penny is being given to me for children's support. Not for their feeding, not for their clothing, not for their school fee. But I kept pushing. And that is why I keep telling women, you have to be empowered. The system is not going to stand by you. The court did not ask me, Madam, this man has not been giving you child support for 10 years. How are the children feeding? How are you clothing them? The courts don't care. They will tell you to exercise patience. Exercise patience until we give our judgment. So what happens to the children? You will go begging on the streets with a pot. You will go begging for money like rag day to feed your children. Come on. We can do better as a society. We can put system and structure in place to ensure that whoever is responsible for child support does the needful. If the wife is the one earning the higher income, the court should mandate her to pay for child or children support during the pendency of the dissolution of the marriage. If the husband is the one with the higher income, he should be made forced to pay for children's support during the pendency of the dissolution. Who did this to us? That children should suffer untold hardship because a couple is undergoing divorce, so they are not going to feed properly, they are not going to get educated, or they will be forced to change their schools, they will be forced to change their housing accommodation, they will be forced to change so many things because the courts cannot ensure that child support is kept. So what is the job of the judge? What are they supposed to do? Watch children suffer? Listen, guys, our system has failed, though. It's not working. We should stop deceiving ourselves. It's not working. It's not everybody that will come out, sit down and tell you what they are going through or what they've been through. It is not working. We make the laws. We are the citizens of this country. We form the legislative body of the government. The legislative arm of the government is formed by us. We make these decisions. We make these laws. Let us amend these laws. Let us reenact new laws that will be favorable to our children. It is bad enough that they no longer have a home that they're used to. Must they now suffer hunger in their bellies? Must they now go about wearing rags and change schools or even drop out of schools? Our system needs to be overhauled. Please, if you know you're in the judiciary, if you know that you're in the legislative arm of the government, we can do better. If you know you're in the law enforcement department, we can do better. Let us reenact laws that will be favorable. Please. This system is just broken. It is broken and it's a shame. But we can do better. We can leave something better for our children. A lot of people go through what I have gone through. Some went through worse than I have gone through. But they don't have the energy. They don't have the desire to sit down before a camera and tell you what the system is like. They don't. We watch movies and we think that what we watch in the movies is what is obtainable here in Nigeria. That is not what is obtainable here in Nigeria at all. Children suffer untold hardship in the course of a marriage dissolution, and that is not meant to be. We can do better. We can do better. Women are dying every day in toxic marriages because of their fear, because of the fear of the hunger the children will go through should they file for a divorce. The husband is going to starve those kids. The husband is not going to pay the children's tuition, and the courts will not do anything about it. So these women are afraid of coming out of this bondage. Modern day slavery, they are afraid of coming out. And every day we hear in the news, a woman poisoned her husband's food. Oh, the husband ate the food, slept, and never woke up. And we're like, God forbid, Jezebel, these women are evil. These women are taking matters into their hands because the system has failed. We need to help these people. We need to help men and women. I know men that have put an end to their wives' lives because they don't want to go through the horrors of a divorce in a system that has failed. We know women that have put an end to their husbands' lives because they don't want to go through the horrors of a failed judicial system. We can do better. Please, let us do better. We are the citizens. We are the same people that form the legislative arm of the government, the security agencies, the judiciary. It is us. We have the power to make it better. For the sake of our children, let us make it better. Because whether we like it or not, divorce will happen. Separation will happen. Toxic union will arise every day. Let us learn to make the best out of a bad situation. Saying God forbid and praying every day is not going to prevent a bad situation from occurring. A bad situation will always occur. How do we react to this situation? How do we manage this situation is what we should be discussing. Those are the things we should be talking about. So thank you all. We're still on the female empowerment program. There were 2 women winners we selected this week. They were supposed to be on this show, but I guess maybe they slept off. So I guess they slept off. So maybe next week they'll come and tell us what they intend to do with the 100,000 I will be helping them with. And then they'll also tell us a bit about their businesses in a way of inspiring us, inspiring other women that still haven't found what to do for a living, what to do in order to earn income. I keep preaching female empowerment every day because that is your only way out from a toxic marriage. If you are in a toxic marriage, you're a woman, you need finances. A woman has no business, I keep repeating it, you have no business reproducing yourself if you do not have financial means of taking care of that child. If you as a woman cannot financially take care of yourself, you have no business reproducing. You can risk getting married. I call it a risk because if you are getting married and you're not bringing something to the table, only your husband is bringing something to the table, it still doesn't make you right because after a while, he's going to get tired. I tell my daughters, nobody should come and tell me anything about marriage. I don't want to hear marriage. If you're not financially ready, you can't get married. That is my policy in this house. You want to get married? Show me your greens. I want to see the money. I want to see your source of income. No daughter of mine is getting married if you don't have a decent source of income. Because if shit happens, BS happens, you have to be able to move. Yep. So every woman out there listening to me, if you do not have a source of income, please stop reproducing. Stop reproducing. No, I'm telling you from experience. I had to take care of my children throughout the course throughout the period I was in the court, paying lawyers, running from one police case to another police case, from one kidnap case, attempted kidnap case to another case. I was feeding, clothing, sheltering, paying for driver, nanny, everything on my head. No child support. Oh, no child support. So please, women, reproduce according to your pockets. Yes, the man is there. He's going to support you, all things being equal. But if all things aren't equal, it's your pocket. Oh. If you don't get money, no born pikin. No. Hey, God. This message is a very serious one. Reproduce according to your income. Women, born according to your pockets. I love you, I love you. Today, the marriage is sweet. If tomorrow is not sweet, it is your pocket. So, especially Nigerian women. Our system do not have our back. Our judiciary do not have our back yet. Nobody is going to arrest any man in Nigeria for not paying child custody. Let me tell you, nobody. The man will be strolling about with his side chicks and his soon-to-be Mrs. or Mr. Because some of these guys, they swing both ways. I have nothing wrong with people having different sexual orientation, but a lot of them, they go this way and they go that way. So they can be swinging about with their Mr. or with their Mrs. Have your money in your pocket if you know you want to reproduce, because there is no social welfare service that will come and arrest any man for not giving you child support. There is no welfare service that will arrest a man for not paying school fee in Nigeria. So women, get financially empowered. Hopefully next week, the two ladies that were helping, that won the 100,000 naira would come and inspire us with their business stories so far. Last week, we gave out 300,000 naira to 3 winners. So we have 2 winners this week. But I guess this show is too late. They couldn't stay up this late. Next week, Saturday, hopefully they should join us and tell us a bit about their business journey. Okay? So please, ladies, get financially empowered no matter how little. Even if that business is not bringing in all the money in the world, at least it's bringing in something, you know, stepping stones. Today you're earning 50,000, 100,000 at the end of the month. Next year it might be 1 million naira. Next 3 years it might be 5 million naira. You never can tell. Never despise the days of little beginnings. Always have something you are doing. No matter how wealthy your husband is, no matter how generous, no matter how loving he is, life happens. Some women are so unfortunate, they lose their loving and their caring husband at a very early age, and they become widows. As early as 28, you're seeing a young widow. Women, please, I dey beg una, help on yourself. So we'll see next week. Do have a lovely weekend. Love you all for staying up this late with me. And for those of you in Canada, in the United States, UK, Malaysia, thank you for joining in. So see you same time next week. And please spread the message. Encourage women around you to get financially empowered. If you're a mother, please encourage your daughters. instill that desire to have a drive to do something. Don't raise a pretty face, a beautiful girl that believes she's so beautiful she doesn't have to work. A man will take care of her. Please do not raise your daughters like princesses sitting in a tower like Rapunzel. Do not raise your daughters like that. This world is harsh. Oh. This world is tranga. Oh. According to my Port Harcourt people, Itranga. Oh, Abike grocery. She says she's here. Oh, Abike, can you see your life? Eh? You slept off. Abike grocery store. Come in. She's one of the people that won for this week. Abike, I'm going to sleep. And now you're coming. What happened to you?
No, I've been here since. I'm saying I'm here. Oh, I'm here. Oh.
How are you doing, Abike? Oh, yeah, quick, tell us. Tell
I'm
us
fine.
about your business journey. What inspired you to go into processed food sales? Abike, by the way, has a business where she processes food, she packages foods.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm so grateful.